Be prepared, my fellow mobile gamers, for an awesome episode of mobile gaming recommendations entirely focused on the most interesting new portrait-oriented games I've played recently. And I've got some real treats for you guys today, including a game that would typically be full of pay-to-win elements, but that has no monetization at all right now. So this is gonna be a great episode. I hope you'll leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and also subscribe if you're new around here and you like mobile gaming, because that's pretty much all I cover here on the channel. Now, I'm really excited to introduce you guys to today's first game, because it's sort of my guilty pleasure of the week. You know, it's the game that has just had me completely hooked all week, and it is, of course, Supercell's latest game called Everdale. Everdale is a fun city builder simulation game with a cute cartoony art style and lots of single player and even light social co-op content to explore. The core gameplay consists of putting villagers to work on collecting resources, crafting items, growing crops, and much more like that. These resources can then be used to research and construct new buildings that expand our village and unlocks new gameplay elements. But where the game sets itself apart from most other of these city building simulation games is that we can work collaboratively with other players to improve the valley in which our village is located to the benefit of everyone in the valley. This functions almost like a guild system, with the ability to vote on a valley leader and even chat with other players to decide what to build next. The game's very minimalistic UI is incredibly well made, and it just makes it easy to quickly navigate between the various buildings and areas of our village, something that is vital for creating a great gameplay experience in these types of games. With no combat or any sort of competitive element, Everdale is one of the most casual and relaxing city builders on mobile, and its biggest downside is actually also one of its biggest strengths: the wait times. Because as a management simulation game, whenever we put our villagers to work, you know, they have to actually spend time completing their tasks, which means we have to wait a bit. And that might frustrate some players, but at the same time, this is what keeps the game casual and allows me to play it on and off throughout the day, which I can really appreciate. It almost turns it into a semi-idle game almost. Everdale monetizes through in-app purchases for a premium currency used to buy cosmetic decorations, small amounts of resources, and a temporary villager that works faster than normal villagers. But since there's no rush to actually progress in the game, the monetization hardly impacts the free-to-play experience. The game requires online access, takes up 383 megabytes of space, and if it keeps expanding its social valley features, I really think it will quickly grow to become just a staple of the genre on mobile. It isn't out globally just yet, and I know that the US is one of those countries where you can't play it yet, but if you live in a country where you can play it, it is definitely worth checking out. And as always, you can find the download links for this game and all of today's other games in the description box down below this video. Next up, let's get to the game that I referred to in the intro of this video. You know, the game with the perfect monetization system. At least for now, that is. And it's a unique 1 versus 1 card battler with slight CCG elements and both competitive multiplayer and single player game modes called Nova Island. Starting with 4 cards on our hand and 1 piece of gold, each match in this game is split into multiple rounds that end when both players have run out of gold to use. The unit cards we deploy from our hand all have both a gold cost and an HP value, and depending on where they are placed on the 4x4 grid board, they have a percentage chance of getting energized when the round ends, which then generates points equal to their HP. And the first player who gets to 20 points then wins the match. Now, in addition to unit cards, we can also use spell cards that can buff or debuff units on the board, or even play the special power card of our main hero to swiftly take out opponents, or even spawn new units to aid us. Some cards even have abilities that trigger when the card gets energized, which adds an extra layer of strategy to unit positioning. Now, for every game we play, we earn some Nova coins that we can then use to unlock cards and new main heroes. We can unlock a card whenever we faced it for the first time in a battle, and with competitive multiplayer, draft battles where all cards are available, daily challenges, and even single player adventures, it's relatively easy to earn these Nova coins. I think what just really made me fall in love with this game is that yes, its core gameplay is really fun, but it also just feels different from all the many other card battlers out there on mobile. I know that some players will really dislike the inherent RNG elements that come from tiles on the board having different percentage chances of energizing cards, but then again, on the other hand, this is what gives us a chance to win even if we have worse cards than our opponent. It essentially makes the game more geared towards casual than competitive play, I think. The game requires online access, takes up 239 megabytes of space, and there's currently no monetization in Nova Island. No advertisements, no in-app purchases, nothing like that, at least for now that is. So although that will definitely change at some point in the future, it's just a bit of a no-brainer to check out this game now if you like the genre. Next up is a game called Beatstar that just instantly threw me back to my hilariously mediocre Guitar Hero days. You know, back when I used to play that game all the time on my friend's PlayStation until my fingers bled, or, you know, until I got so tired of being beaten by my friend because he played the game all the time and he was so great and I only got to play it a few hours every week. It was unfair. I mean, So, Beatstar is a highly polished music rhythm game, but unlike the many EDM music rhythm games out there on mobile, this one features both modern and classic songs in pretty much any genre, including some pretty big radio hits. So pretty much like in Guitar Hero, after selecting a song to play, we then tap, hold, or swipe notes that fall from the top of the screen to the beat of the track we play. The goal is to hit the notes at just the right time so we avoid breaking our score multiplier, and after completing a song, we receive stars that help us progress and unlock new tracks, and some points that we use to unlock timed loot boxes that reward us with genre cards. And when we have enough of these genre cards, we can then unlock a random new song from that genre, but yes, that does mean we do not get to select the specific song we want to unlock. Although some songs are definitely more difficult than others in this game, I found it pretty interesting that all of the songs also become more difficult the further we get into them, which ensures that everyone can complete the first part of a song while making the last part a real challenge to complete. Missing even just a single note completely stops the song though, unless we pay premium currency to continue again. The only redeeming factor is that while this can feel a bit punishing, we do at least still earn some points and stars when the song stops this way. Beatstar monetizes through a few incentivized ads for extra rewards, and then premium currency in-app purchases used to instantly unlock songs. We do actually unlock songs relatively easily for free as well, but once all 3 loot box slots are filled up, we have to wait for one of them to open again before we can continue playing the game. Until then, we simply cannot play anymore. And yes, this is the part that will either make or break the game for you, because while it won't impact casual players that just play a few songs here and there, it will definitely quickly frustrate the more hardcore players. The game requires online access, takes up 525 MB of space, and although its monetization isn't exactly great, it does provide a fun gameplay experience that lays a strong foundation for what could be expanded with different game modes and even events over time to enhance the experience. So I think it's worth considering checking out. So here's the thing, I would love to say that Nova Island is my favorite game this week because it really was a great game, but if I have a look at what game I spent the most time on this week after reviewing it, I would have to go with Everdale. But let me know if you agree or disagree or what you think about today's games in the comment section down below, and then thank you very much for watching till the very end of this video. I really do appreciate that. Leave a like if you haven't already, and until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around. You know, playing Smoke on the Water, or, you know, I Love Rock and Roll, and those types of games, types of songs. And an HP value, undepending and depending. Crap. I know that some might not dislike, I know that some might dislike